With burning eyes and biting flames, that is how life began. We have overcome the elements of nature, reached the moon and tamed the atom. We have conquered space, and yet the life of our Viking ancestors feels full of magic and motivation when we feel we are not complete, content, fulfilled, or motivated. What happened is then our boats turned towards the safe harbor, unable to roar the seas. Why? Because satisfaction is a state of consciousness. It does not lie in the ease of the tons of items we pile up into our homes that are meant to remind us who we are, but are just another artificial and hollow obstacle in between us and who we are. You see, life is a very wide space. When we are bored or unfocused, we are just looking at a small part of it. It is in the moment we feel the struggle with keeping the flame alive that we are called to widen our horizons and to shift perspective and deconstruct routines. Motivation refers to the degree of readiness to pursue something. Motivation is that readiness. When we are demotivated, we are moving in an environment that is truly small and looks the same, where determination and readiness find no reason to exist as primal instincts. In a place of dormant energies, we will struggle in finding the burning passion, in being the fire, burning the passion. I found my way through the uncharted waters of boredom and lack of vibrant energies many years ago when I was a kid, and the vessel to the shifting of perception and shapes around me has been my grandfather's packet of matches. Mama has always allowed us the use of matches. She has always thought it was important for us to know how to use them. I cannot recall the amount of times that little flame has changed the feeling of the room I was sitting in. How many times it has changed my perception of that room, that without that flame, with my ordinary eyes, looked so small, unknown and unexciting. That fast-burning fire felt so transformative, full of changes. The walls of my room stopped being just walls, but looked and felt like cave walls, where the flame from the match beautifully painted magical beings on them, and everything came alive, myself included. The burning of that match and the light it projected was perfectly capable of transforming my intent into reality. It released all that energy I felt so contained into flowing and spacious energy. And the flickering light it produced converted one situation, setting feelings into another. The light from that match conjured a different space, a space within a space. It conjured a different perception of that space, a different flavor of that space. And I went to sleep thinking about those new shapes and the world within the world, which in the light from the burning match appeared so different in front of my eyes. Since I've started doing this, I cannot even count the times I've jumped out of bed in the middle of the night and the morning after, excited and energized with a spark of new ideas. You see, the subconscious mind space is a very wide space, and it does some incredible work if we find ways to conjure that space. That has been a huge life lesson for me, and most likely my very first encounter with fire sorcery. I have always felt the reindeer are the seers of the mountains, and they need vast areas to survive. Life with the reindeer has taught me we also need that vastness to survive. We also need movement. You see, we will never feel motivated before taking action. We cannot rely on motivation. We need to rely on action. The reindeer livens up when it moves. There is no thought of moving prior to moving. By observing this, I have understood how unnecessary thoughts are. We do not need to convince ourselves to do something. We need to just do it. Motivation and inspiration will come from seeing ourselves taking action. So go and light your little match of wonders and possibilities. Reshape the ordinary. Be the flickering light of that match and not that old and rusted mirror reflecting it. You see, walls will not turn into doors, and doors will not open to the view of vast pastures. Nothing will move unless you do. Many years ago, this land threw me to the reindeer. I would have never thought one day I would have been here to tell you with determination and commitment. I managed to gain complete trust from the reindeer. Motivation is that little match burning from within, and if you choose to be the flame, all the rest will follow in trust. From walking with a reindeer, I have learned we too can shake the grounds. From walking with the gods, I have learned the most vast and excruciating pain in this life is to hold untold stories inside of me. This is why I strive to expose my demons to fresh air and take them for a walk in the vast and treeless land. I know demons do not like fresh air. They hate the vastness. They prefer it if I stay in bed with cold feet. There is no fight against my demons. There, in the land of barren and cold, we are on the same side. There, we both need to keep moving.